Hello, stampers and friends. This is Lisa from Live and Let Stamp. And today I'm doing a fun project for Halloween, making some Halloween treat boxes. Let me get set up here. Okay, so I love making treat boxes. They're so fun to give, but sometimes they are time consuming because you have to cut the paper, score the paper, then cut out all the little places so that you can fold it to make the box, which is why I love every time Stampin' Up! Comes out with a kit that will make a treat box. And this one's called Sweet and Spooky. It makes 15 adorable treat boxes. It comes with everything you need. All I'm going to be using in addition is a bone folder, some paper, some scissors, and my tool to put on my pretty stars that are here. You get this twine. You get this little, these are flagpoles, and these paper clips, which are heavy-duty paper clips. These are not your Amazon, Walmart paper clips that you might buy cheaply. These are extremely sturdy, like extremely sturdy. You get the tear and tape adhesive. You don't need any other kind of glue but this. You get pop dots to put on your materials to make them stand off the page or the tag that's going on the box. And you get these beautiful holographic stars. And you get a bunch extra that you'll have left over. They are so, so, so pretty. Love them. Okay. And of course, you get your treat boxes already scored for you. So I'm going to take one of each of these. Love this one. So cute. I mean, they're all cute, but I really like this one because I like the purples and the oranges, the coloring. This one's very Halloween-like with the black and orange. Take one of those. And then this one is a fun one with the Halloween color stars. And you can see there are some foil stars there, like holographic foil stars. And of course, you get excellent directions that come with this kit. So I'm going to go ahead and start with my first kit. Now, this is the page that tells you all that you need to have to make each of the kits. And we'll go ahead and we'll start with this one. So I'm going to need this piece. And I'm going to need, oh, I didn't show you the punch outs that you get to have the punch outs. So there are two different kinds. There's this one and this one. And when you punch all of those out, it will make all three boxes exactly. So I'm going to go ahead and punch these out. You can see how easily they come out. I can tell you I have never torn any piece that I've received as a punch out in a Stampin' Up! Kit. They're easy to pull out and there's no danger of tearing. Here's our little pumpkin. We have a little bat. And these like banner type pieces. This one's holographic with that foil. So pretty. As is this one. And the orange one. So just, you know, really shiny. Look at that ghost. Woo! He is so holographic. So pretty. Now, his little arm there. I do want to be careful with that little arm. And then an eek. That's our flag for our flagpole, for our banner. And this cute little ghost with the holographic silver foil eyes. Okay, so now that's all the pieces that I'm going to need. Okay, so back to this. I'm going to need this pumpkin. Just putting them all here. I'm going to need the twine. I'm going to need a paper clip. And everything color coordinates. That's what's so nice about these kits is, I mean, you're not going out trying to find things to coordinate. Everything coordinates. Okay, I need this piece. I need the trick or treat. And I'm going to need the stars. And I think that's it. So I'm going to go to the directions. Now, once you get the hang of doing the box, they all get made the same way. And I'm going to start with the box. So all the score lines are here. And remember, you can see there's the bump, which means they were scored this way. And you always want to bend to bury the bump. So I'm going to use my bone folder. In a pinch, when I'm like crafting away from home and I didn't bring my bone folder, I will use any kind of tool. You can use I've used a kitchen knife once at Disney. But a bone folder really is a good investment if you are planning to make, you know, a lot of cards or kits, paper projects. And I'm going to do this one. And this way. And you really do need to take the time to do this to make sure that your treat box will stand up well. Okay, now for these, I just kind of bend these a little bit by hand because you don't want to make these big creases. So I just do those by hand. Together. Okay, and I think that's everything. Now the directions tell you exactly where to put your tear and tape to put your box together. It shows you here, here, and here. So there's no guessing and oh my gosh, I've got to, you know, practice putting it together so I know where to put the adhesive. You know right where it goes. One goes here. And one goes here. And then one goes, make sure you can see that right there. Okay. Now to do this one, you want to fold this way, flat, and you want to take off these two pieces. And then just bring this down and push it down. So you can see it's well folded. For this one, you're just gonna, you can see, push down the ends. Gonna remove the backing piece from the tear and tape. And get the box straight and press that down. And now your box is nice and sturdy. So this folds like a milk carton. So you're gonna push in like that. And this can be a little tricky, that wants to fold in there. So you can see how it looks like the little milk boxes that you used to get in school. That's what it reminds me of. Now you're not gonna glue this shut. I mean, technically, I guess you could glue it shut when you gave it to someone, but this is why we have the paper clip. So we're gonna go ahead and push this paper clip on telling you, it is a major paper clip. Okay, and that's going to hold it together, but still allow you or your recipient to open it and then close it again. So now we're ready to make the tag that goes on this. So the directions show us exactly where to put our foam dots, our Stampin' dimensionals. So we know we had this piece. I'm going to use my take your pick tool just to punch these circles out. Pull off that chad in the back. Okay. And this one. And we're going to need our pumpkin. Oh, we also need a holographic little ghost. And I don't think I pulled that already. So he's over here. Here he is. So we're going to need our little ghost. And I'm going to go ahead and put the dimensionals. Oh, we need the banner, and it's the orange one. This one. So I've matched this to this. So now I'm ready to put on, shows you where to put them. So when you layer them, it'll layer correctly. And one here at the bottom. I'm going to need 15 inches of this twine. So I have my grid paper here, and it does have a ruler at the bottom. So that makes that nice. It goes to 16. I'm just going to snip that for my 15 inches of twine. And I know I'm going to need my stars as well. So then we're just ready to put it together. So the bottom layer is the striped piece. On that, we're going to put the orange banner. And I need to punch that hole out because you're going to use the holes at the top to line up your pieces. Make that as straight as I can. And then our trick or treat. Gonna line the holes up. Get it as straight as I can. Okay. And we're going to do our pumpkin. Right here. And a little star. Right here. Now to put it together, I'm going to put that ghost, actually I'll just go ahead and put that ghost on. He goes by the front door, on the side with the front door, I mean, like he's coming out of the window. Oh, he's so cute. Okay, so what we're going to do to attach this is I'm going to put the twine through the holes in the tag, and then I'm going to bring that up through the back of the paper clip. And I'm going to take my two ends and kind of hold them. And I'm just going to tie my bow. Now, the directions show that you're putting this under the tag, under the paper clip. I don't like it under the paper clip. I like it to kind of dangle. I think it's cute that way. Now I don't want my bow that big, so I'm going to pull the ends. I'm trying to do this laying down the box, but it's not cooperating, so I'm going to stand it up. Pull the ends, pull it tight. Ah, there we go. Okay, and then I'm just going to take my snips, cut off the ends. And there's that super cute treat box. Now you can write on the back. They did have us put this here so that you can attach it to keep it from moving if you would like to. I've left it undone so that it can be opened and filled because these are going to go to my husband's coworkers at school. So they'll be filled with some treats for them. Okay, so that's box number 1. Box number 2 is the stars. So I'm going to get my star piece. And I'm going to need this orange rectangle. I'm going to need the, hey boo, I'm going to need a paper clip. I'm going to need the twine. I'm going to need the stars. I'm going to need the bat. And I'm going to need this black piece. So I think that's everything I need for this particular box. So I'll go to the directions. And as we did before, we're going to make this box. First step, score, score, score. So I'm curious. I used to say Halloween. And I said that once. I remember I was in junior high. And my friend started laughing at me because she said it's Halloween, not Halloween. So I started saying Halloween. I still say Halloween, but I do hear it both ways. I've heard it on television shows when people are talking about Halloween. So I don't know. Up until I was 5, I was raised in Illinois. So I don't know if maybe that's a Midwestern thing to say Halloween, because we moved to Florida when I was 5. Maybe in Florida they say Halloween. I don't know. So feel free to chime in. I'd love to see your comments about how you say it. I'm just going to give these their little hand bending. And then we're ready to, remember we're going to put 2 pieces here and here and 1 there. So let me get my tear and tape. Made that one a little long. That's why sometimes I'll hold it here, because I'm really terrible at judging the distance. You want to give that a good push with a fingernail or bone folder or something that can just make sure that stays there. So now I'm going to peel off these 2. Start here. And remember, we're going to fold that down where the adhesive is and fold this to it. And then we're going to peel off our last piece to make the bottom of the box. And There's our box. Now we'll go ahead and do the fold. We want this to bend in like that. Sometimes you have to kind of coax it. There we go. So I have both ends. And I need my paper clip. Okay, now we're ready to make the tag. Following the directions, I'm going to need, this is the banner piece, and this is the orange piece, and this is the boo. Let me go ahead and get my pointy tool here and take out these holes. If you're not going to adhere your tag to the box, you don't even need the one on the orange piece, but I am going to put it there because I might want to attach it so it's not quite so flimsy when it's filled with candy. We have our little bat, and it shows us cutting one of the dimensionals. So you can see where I have done that and used half, and then this is the other half. And that goes up in this shape. So that fits. And we have our stars ready to go. And we need 15 inches of the twine, which I'm measuring with my grid paper. Now, let's go ahead and put on our dimensionals. We need one about there, one about there, one about there, and we already have one here. So now I'm ready to layer. It's the orange. On top of that is the black banner piece. So I'm going to line up the holes. Put it on there. And then we need our Hey Boo. I think that's so cute. Hey Boo. That's going to lay flush with the top. And go right there. And then our little bat goes under the boo. And we have a star. These stars are actually big enough. They're very hefty. They're thick. You can even get them off with your fingers pretty easily. And one there. And one here. That's a pretty shiny one. Okay, so I'm going to put my string through front to back. And then I'm going to bring it up through the back of the paper clip. I'm going to go ahead and stand this up. Whoa. Going to pull the ends even. And then tie my bow. Pull the ends to make the loops smaller. And then snip off the ends. I don't want to snip them too short because when I retie this, I'm going to need some. And it's kind of twisty. There is box number 2. So cute. Box number 3. It's my favorite. I just love the color scheme of this box. It is so cute. And this shows me, I'm going to the page. It's everything that I have left, basically. It's this tag with the stars. It's this cute ghost with the silver eyes. It's this piece. It's our eek. It's our little banner pole or flag pole. And I'm going to need the twine, the paper clip, and the stars. Okay, let's go ahead and make this cute box. Scoring away. So I was thinking about, you know, these would be fun to give to coworkers. You could give them, of course, to your friends. Our mail just came. You could give one to your mail carrier, your hairdresser. Isn't it so fun to have a hobby where you get to make things that make people happy? Bring joy. I don't think I did that end. Get that done. And then give a little pre-bend to my milk carton folds. And now we're ready to go. See how much quicker that gets once you get the hang of it. You can just whip right through these boxes. And they're so fun to make. So much fun. Fun to make. Fun to fill. Fun to give. If you had a classroom, you could buy a couple of these kits. Give treats to your students. Or give them as teacher gifts. I live on a street that doesn't have a lot of houses, so we don't get many trick-or-treaters. You could even give these out for trick-or-treat if you get, you know, we only get a couple people because of where we live. So you could even give these out as Halloween treats for trick-or-treaters. I don't know if you have any other ideas. Would love to hear those. Okay, I'm going to fold this down, which is where my adhesive is, and fold this over it. Make the bottom of the box. And then our milk tag fold. Right there. Bip clip. Okay. Now let's make our tag. Let's take a look at the directions. So right here, this is our pink tag, our ghost. That one is our star tag. And then the eek is going to be done over here in step 3, so I don't need to do anything with those just yet. So let's put on our this up a bit. Okay, now I'm going to push out these holes so I can line up where the string goes. This one's off to the side. You can see this one kind of like stair steps up, which I thought was unique. I like it. Okay, so So this comes next. Line it up. Okay. And then our ghost. Now they show 1 star down here. But I think it needs more stars. So that's nice that you have extras. Because I just think it needs more stars. Looks better with 3 stars, don't you think? Better than 1. All right, I'm going to measure out my twine for my bow. And this is all I've done now, almost half the boxes, and still have plenty of twine. Put that through. I didn't add the flag yet. Maybe I should add the flag first. I'm going to go ahead and add the flag. Okay, so we have this eek, and the directions show us to put the tear and tape on each side of this score. So that's what we're going to do. So it's just going to take a little piece, one on this side of the score, and a little piece on the other side. I'm going to peel those off. Tear and tape is really sticky, which is why it's a good strong adhesive for making things like boxes that need to stay together. So we just put it right in here and bend this over it. To really push that down. Isn't that so cute? And that's gonna go like here. So we need it shows it a little further. I found that's a little far away, so I do recommend putting it right next to where the pole is. Okay, and then we're gonna put that right there. So cute. Okay, so we have done the string here. We're going to bring it up through the back. And tie the bow. I wish I was better at tying bows. Pull, pull, and then get it nice and tight. And snip off some of the bottom, so they're not quite so long, but long enough to retie when you fill it. And there's our 3rd treat box. Now you get to make 5 of each of these boxes. So that's a lot of treat boxes that you'll have to make somebody happy. Well, today you've made me happy. Thank you for watching. I appreciate it so much, and I'd love to see your comments, and I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day.